the largest event rental company in the country.
Has perhaps become a major powerhouse in the last decade. Was it a battle of tribulations or was it just good luck?
Stay tuned to find out who this company is and how they got started today.
And make sure you stay all the way to the end to see never before seen secrets from insider sources.
So if you don't know anything about Bright Event Rentals, here's a little backstory on who they are. So they originated in California and they are one of the leading leaders within the party event rental industry currently. They've expanded beyond California now into Massachusetts, Rhode Island, New Hampshire, Maine, Texas, and I'm pretty sure even more.
We believe that Bright is making close to $1 billion, if not close. We're making assumption on what they bought Peerless for. Peerless was around 150 to 200. The peak rentals was around like 100. And I believe Bright is between $500 million to 700, something around there.
According to a quote by Quipple, they mentioned that interestingly, there are no major players holding a significant share within this market. Currently, there are 3 largest companies that control less than 10% of the entire industry. And these 3 companies are Arena Americas, Bright Event Rentals, as well as Party Rental Ltd. And to get Bright where they are now, CEO Mike Bjornstad had to make some major strides. He was also the COO of Classic Event Rentals.
Who's Classic Event Rentals? I thought we were talking about Bright Event Rentals.
So we can't go into Bright's story until we go down into who Classic Rentals is. Before we continue into who Classic is, we have an old friend that just popped up. This is the ultimate checklist, and I'm pretty sure if Mike ever put together a book, he would have put together this book right here. So you want to grow as big as, at least up to where we are at, you can be able to do it through here. But let's get back into the story.
At the peak of their business, Classic Party Rentals ranked to #1 on the Special Events magazine for their top 30 event rental companies list. They were also partnered with major brands like ESPN for their Fan Fest in Scottsdale, as well as Bud Light for their tailgate. However, in January of 2017, they were awarded the Best Tent Installation for a showcase they did for Mercedes-Benz at the 2016 Pebble Beach Concours d'Elegance. However, Classic Party Rentals began to face trouble once they attempted to expand nationally with over 30 special event companies that all operated differently. In 2014, they filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy and put themselves up for sale.
I wonder, was it purely cash flow? Or was it just wasted? What was getting wasted? I know that's so many locations to manage all at once.
We've been there before.
Yeah, with 3 and they got 30. And 30 and we've been
10 times the amount of hurt.
And we can drive to our 3. So I can imagine being have to
you can fly to it.
Yeah, you can fly to it.
Private jet.
Yeah, I guess so. But did they have a private jet? That's probably why they didn't make it.
And in April of 2014, they announced that Apollo Global Management had given them the winning offer in an auction and are now the owners of Classic Party Rentals, ultimately saving them before their demise. In July of 2017, Classic Party Rentals had to split up. Dublin Clark bought many of these outlets, while Bright Rentals, or their company names at the time, received the lion's share.
And what was that, January, that they got award for the best tent installation? So it made me think it wasn't an operational issue. This must have been a resource allocation issue across the board.
So it's believed that the roll-up business style caused this downfall. It was difficult to fulfill the different needs of individual markets throughout their acquired locations. So having multiple locations with different operations really just hurt them. So you might be wondering, where does Mike Bjornstad, the CEO of Bright Event Rentals, fit into all of this? So Mike was actually a COO of Classic Party Rentals for 15 years prior to stepping down in 2011.
He stepped down in 2011.
Yeah, he stepped down in 2011 and
bankruptcy at 2017.
Bankruptcy at 2014.
Oh, so this is 3 years. So Mike knew something.
Yeah.
Mike knew something.
And then they split in 2017, and that was the end of Classic Party Rentals.
What do you think about that, Eddie? You think Mike knew something?
Yeah, maybe he had his hands tied behind his back and he couldn't control the financials, but the operations side, he did it flawlessly.
Mike, I know you're listening right now. You're probably not, but if you are listening, please comment down below why you left early so we can know exactly what to look for.
And accept my friend request on Indeed.
So this was actually what he had to say about leaving. His only response was he decided it was the right time. And
Yeah, insider trading.
And even though he did leave, he did remain on the board of directors and said he was excited to stay on the board.
I'm really here just to buy these assets when they come up for sale in a little bit. Yeah, do that bankruptcy thing. That's what you doing?
He's like, run inventory? Yeah, we don't have that much. The truck was going out in the back. We don't have extra stuff.
It's like, these are heading to California.
Mike later partnered with the CEO of Classic Rentals, John Moran, and they acquired Wine Country Party and Events.
Wait, they like bought it together?
They bought it together.
So he was like, I want more of that same thing that went out of business?
This was before Classic completely died.
Wait, what? So the Classic Rental guy, who's the CEO of Classic Rentals, the biggest rental company, goes outside of the business
Yep.
and starts another business with the COO, and then the COO leaves? Because that makes, you know what I'm saying? That's like me and Eddie going here, we starting a company, and then like we hire a CEO here and a CEO, and the next week we see the CEO buy a company somewhere else. And like, what y'all doing over there? I was like, oh, nothing. Don't worry about that.
So after acquiring Country Party and Events with Mike Bjornstad and John Moran, they changed Wine Country Party into Bright Event Rentals. And in 2017, Bright acquired a lion's mane share of Classic Rentals' California locations. And since then, Bright has been making some strides. In 2019, Bright announced that they are coming out with a phone app to manage events as well as customer orders. In that same year, Bright Event Rentals was featured on Style Me Pretty, which is a popular wedding planning blog for one of the weddings that they had set up. And in the same year, Bright collaborated with other event rental companies to bring the 10th annual ABC OC Trendsetter Gala to life. In January of 2020, Bright collaborated with Conscious Cleanup to make every event eco-friendly and sustainable.
What does that mean?
I think it might mean that it might not be made from harsh items that might leave residue and chemicals in the earth, but
Yeah, or on people. Yeah.
but like you said, what does it mean?
I don't know. We'll have to talk to Mike.
That happened in 2020, and in 2023, Bright acquired Peerless Tents and Events, expanding into major Texas markets. If you don't know, Peerless Tents and Events is probably one of the largest party rental company in Texas with locations in all of the major metroplexes. And finally, in March 19th of 2024, Bright has announced partnership with Trevest, which is a private equity firm, and the acquisition of Peak Event Services, now expanding their locations onto Massachusetts, Rhode Island, New Hampshire, and Maine.
And I know every single one of their locations is literally a warehouse. So you're looking at 23 locations. They're making some smart moves using data, and the person they work with on the investment things, like, is a smart way to acquire another company. Especially, I was wondering too, like, how are they acquiring companies that are similar size or half their size? Like, I don't know, they're doing some good things.
What do you think about them going into Texas and bringing their Californian views into Texas?
Most people are moved from California to come to Texas because I think they want the lifestyle of Texas.
Yeah.
So I think those people are going to acclimate to being in Texas. Now, the one thing I actually want them to do is bring their money. But if everyone comes here and they acclimate to the system, then it all works out. I just don't want this to be a new California.
So what does this mean for like the party rental companies operating here?
One thing, I'm happy that Marquee actually has to get pushed now. They can't just sit on the throne and just relax and, we can do what I want. We're gonna get the Texas Fair every single year, state fair, we get the rodeo. We're gonna win all these jobs every year and never have no competition and never have to worry about nothing. I believe that since that Peerless deal with them working with the Cowboys, I believe that deal is gonna come back onto the market so other people can be able to do it eventually. This is gonna open up the party rental space to being just more commonplace. We still to this day say, I'm gonna get an Uber. Even when we're talking about a Lyft, we still say that. It's because Uber spent all that money on advertisement to push the market up. More competition just means more opportunity that comes up, and also has to keep people innovating and kind of move forward. Bright can bring in tents that Peerless didn't have from before, or that she can be able to compete with us. And I'm pretty sure that's what they thought too when they came in. They're probably like, we have Marquee here. Marquee's in 4 other locations. Marquee kind of be able to move their stuff around to be able to work and do these big locations. Now they can come in with all their inventory and all their stuff and be able to move it around to be able to handle these events in Texas too.
So if you don't already know, Peerless Events and Tents is one of the largest event rental companies in Texas, being the only event rental company in Texas to have locations in all of their major cities. This is Dallas, Houston, Austin, San Antonio, and Oklahoma City, which is outside of Texas. So what do you guys think about Bright Event Rentals now purchasing roll-up companies? So now they're no longer rolling up companies, smaller companies. They're rolling up big operations that have already been established. What do you guys think about this?
I think they're trend setting. They're showing the path of how you do this. And also they're giving ways to people who might have had multiple locations and was like, I don't know how I'm going to sell this. Who's going to be able to buy this? Maybe I'm too big to be purchased. Now, like, you can't say that no more. Yeah, I think they're going to try to buy Party LTD in the future, but that's it's a hot take out there.
How big is Party LTD now?
I think they have 7 or 8 warehouses, and I think their branding does really well. That's the only reason why I think they wouldn't purchase them is because they wouldn't want to kill the brand when they do it. I think that'll be like the nail in the coffin, and then they'll go knock out some of these other ones. My whole thing, I'm just trying to get in right here, is that your local competitor that's big in your area might not be local no more pretty soon.
So we've actually seen this type of acquisition done before with Pro-M and Kirby. What do you think about this compared to Bright and Peerless?
Well, I think most companies go out and they purchase other rental companies when times are tough. Think about like the COVID happens and you go buy all this stuff, and now you're like, dang, like what am I supposed to do? And it's the wrong stuff too. Like you go buy a whole bunch of chairs and tables and they say nobody can meet, and you basically in your area, like you have a year and a half to 2 years where that's not even going down. Now, if you bought like structured tents and you bought like, evaporators or air purifiers, big old air purifiers and ACs, like you probably were perfect. Now you see people buying companies because of how good they're doing. That means you don't have to fail to get purchased.
Would you guys ever purchase another smaller rental company just to bulk up Kelly Rentals?
Yes.
Why is this not in the talks?
So think about it. If we want to purchase a company that's equal or our size. Let's say the company's doing, just to make it easy, the company's doing $2 million. 35% of that is profit. So let's hope on that. 30, say 30 to make it easy. That's $600,000 in profit. We're looking at probably like a 5-time multiplier, which would be about $3 million if their assets are, minus whatever debts they have, because we'll pay the debts off. So that means, like, say they have $100,000 in debts. So then you'll be looking at basically, we'll be paying 2.19. We'll have to put down 25%. So we're looking at $750,000 that you put down, and then you have the company. And then the rest you'll use to fund the company on like a 20-year loan.
Would you do that anytime soon?
I got to check your actual credit.
Okay, you're still using me. Okay.
Yeah. Tina's going to turn into our CFO in a little bit.
Okay. So now that Bright has rised up kind of to the level of United Rentals or Sunbelt Rentals in terms of them having control over a vast majority of the US, what does this mean for the industry as well as the local market on all of these areas that they're coming into?
I think comparison to our industry, they're that type of person. They still can't run nationwide advertisements yet. Hopefully they bring more people into the market to help them know that they should do more rentals and stuff. That's what I'm really hoping, is that they just help rise the tides and stuff. And then people will like look at their prices and be like, oh no, I can't do that. And then they'll turn down. Or what happened is that they'll work with them and they'll just be one other person on their sheet, and they want to work with someone who wants to take them more seriously, like us, who will just be, they won't be just one person on their sheet. It could be a lot of different ways. I just think the whole thing is going to just be better for everybody.
So a lot of people, since Bright has taken over Peerless, have fallen off on the employee payroll. Employee. Well, that's what they're saying. Employees when they talk to us. We've been getting a lot of experienced people, which is kind of rare, because generally the most experienced people are in-house and already at their companies and been there for many years. But we've seen like a surplus of tent installers, warehouse workers that have experience with these industries, like not Marquee, but for Peerless. We actually have a couple of them, and they're trying to get in on our team, which is great because, we don't have to train anybody, basically coming with the whole line of information, how things are done.
So basically, Bright came as Moses come in and split the sea, and they was like, we would not allow anybody who don't have papers. They split it. But then what happened is that half the people do have papers, half people who don't. People who don't got fired. And then this half was like, you just fired my cousin, You fired Theo, all the people right here, and then they left too. But the people we found was that there's that subgroup of people who left the company after the procedures changed and after basically probably one of their closest friends got fired, and probably abruptly too. They were expecting this to be a wide exodus of people out of the company, because if you keep the same people, you're going to keep what you've been doing the same, and they're trying to bring in new people, new operations, new people. And that was a big thing too. Even before they even did that part, like Eddie said, they took a lot of the heads and they just removed them. If they didn't fit the scheme they wanted, they put new people in there. They brought people from other markets. And since they have already at the time, 13, 14 other locations, they can like cherry pick from people and get them to move to the right areas. Like, okay, this person's up right now. Maybe they didn't get the main operations job here, but they still can operate somewhere. We don't have any openings, so now we have one. Let's move him, drop him there.
Better believe I'll have my little bucket ready where if anything falls out, I'll be able to catch it, whether it be employees or equipment, or because we've seen them, they sold off stuff before.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting.
You guys don't think this would affect like the smaller event rental industries that are just trying to start up or anything like that? No.
They're not talking.
These are big sharks. They're eating big meals. They can't sustain themselves on little things.
Now, obviously, they want to get the regular public to come in. That's like easy money, and those people lead to bigger events and weddings and stuff. But realistically, the equipment-wise, they can't compete with it, and it's just a different type of person that you'll be looking at.
Well, I think that would be the end of our conversation, unless you guys have anything else.
No, only thing I have is that make sure you get the ultimate checklist so you can work your way to being as big as Bright when they were our size. But other than that, guys, we appreciate you watching this video. If you like these type of videos, you want to do more in-depth videos of stuff that's happening in the market, please let us know. And I'm Xavier Kelly.
I'm Eddie Sauceda.
And I'm Tina.
And we are the Rental Boys plus Tina. Maybe Steven.
Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you like this video, please click this playlist up here for more videos like it. And please also like, comment, share, and subscribe so that we can make more videos like this for you.
So Eddie, what did you learn?
A lot.
Subscribe.